Superman confronts Lex Luthor, accusing him of future universal disaster based on a vision. Luthor defends himself, feeling unfairly targeted by figures like Godslayer and the Remnants. Although the group seems to agree on a death sentence, Superman hesitates, expressing a lack of proof despite his doubts. He refuses to kill Luthor or allow others to do so. In battle, despite their differences, Superman and Luthor work together, while Superman uses heat vision but is weakened by pheromones. Protecting Luthor from others' attempts to enforce their laws, Superman buys time with the Mother Box, throwing it to Luthor to open a boom tube. Luthor acknowledges Superman's strategic mind. The two escape, but the boom tube is disrupted, leaving them trapped in an unknown location. With Superman weakened by a red sun, Luthor realizes they are stuck and observes Superman's fading powers. In frustration, Luthor realizes that they are abandoned together in this strange world. Superman confronts Luthor, telling him to back off despite being taunted for being powerless. Superman delivered a punch to Luthor, declaring no one is ever powerless. Luthor accuses Superman of breaking into his office in the past, but Superman denies it, and Luthor remains convinced Superman's accusations are based on assumptions. Luthor sarcastically suggests that Superman should succeed the Godslayer, leading Superman to challenge his sincerity. Luthor recounts the death of Thomas Cord in a helicopter crash, which motivated him to join the Justice League and save the original Superman. Wearing the Superman symbol, Luthor says it was a tribute meant to inspire, arguing that despite Superman's investigations, no evidence was found. Suddenly, Zade attacks Superman, leaving him vulnerable. Luthor vows to protect him, but the Mother Box is malfunctioning, preventing escape. Despite Superman's weakening under the red sun, Luthor aggressively defends him. Superman orders Luthor to focus on Zade, while he strategically fights the Godslayer, impressing Luthor with his effectiveness. Luthor convinces Superman they need a plan, although Superman is initially hesitant, asserting he can handle the situation. They clash over Luthor's extreme views on preemptive actions, but Superman stands firm in his ideals. Luthor acknowledges Superman's resourcefulness and reflects on his own experience on a powerless planet. Superman rejects using the boom tube to escape, wanting to resolve the conflict where they are. Despite the overwhelming odds, Luthor remains confident, and they agree to split up, forcing their enemies to do the same. The Godslayer confronts Luthor, boasting mastery of combat techniques from 7 worlds. Godslayer admits bringing Lex Luthor back was a mistake, and implies Lex should have been killed on Earth. As the battle continues, Luthor uses his intellect to prolong the fight, launching a powerful energy blast in desperation. Zade, aware of Superman's weakened state, is confident, but Superman surprises his enemies with his ingenuity and determination, despite his vulnerability. Luthor, initially doubtful of Superman, begins to acknowledge his resourcefulness and willpower. Superman uses strategy and physical prowess, but instead of fighting to the death, he asks Zade to stop and calmly suggests a non-lethal resolution. Luthor reflects on the difficulty of killing someone as resilient as Superman. Meanwhile, the Godslayer declares that the boom tube confrontation was planned and prepares to kill Luthor, stating that justice has come. Superman intervenes, demanding to speak with the Godslayer. Though Godslayer insists death is the decree, Zade hesitates, noting Superman's commitment to life. Superman explains his belief in giving everyone a chance to live and acknowledges his initial distrust of Luthor, but found no proof of his guilt. Godslayer remains skeptical, arguing that absence of evidence isn't proof of innocence, but Superman points out Godslayer's inner conflict and weariness from his violent path. Superman's words challenge Godslayer's belief in his mission, urging him to focus on hope and the potential for a better future rather than destruction. Godslayer shows respect for Superman, hinting at a shift in perspective. After returning to their world, Luthor expresses frustration over the lack of apology or explanation from Godslayer, but Superman suggests they be grateful for the outcome. They reach a mutual understanding, and Luthor proposes a fresh start, leading to a handshake.